Welcome to the Innovation World Podcast, your go-to source for all things innovation, invention, and entrepreneurship. Our website is www.innovationworld.org.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Launch Network. This is Carmine Danisco, your co-host for today's show of Innovation World. We've got a great show today. We got a young inventor, very cool product, I must say. Very, very good video. We got some awesome stuff to announce, I'm sure. Let me bring on my co-host, who is always full of innovation and information, Ms. Julie Shively. Julie, what's going on?
Hey, lots of stuff as usual. First and foremost, I want to thank all of the contestants of the Ready, Set, Innovate competition. We announced winners on June 1st. In fact, our guest today will be the first podcast with one of our winners, so we're real excited about that. Keep an eye out for our next competition coming up in the next couple months. I haven't finalized all of it yet, but it's going to be a really cool competition based on the United Nations Sustainable Goals. And I think it's going to be a PSA competition. So instead of an invention necessarily, we're going to give kids an opportunity to create a really cool message and compete by creating the coolest message. And then part of the awards will be a donation to their favorite charity, which probably is in line with their sustainable goals. So still in the works. We'll roll that out in the next month or so. And then just a reminder that on July 9th and 10th, we have the next Global Innovation Field Trip. It's a 24-hour innovation marathon of sorts where we invite young inventors from around the world to talk about their invention or their innovation experience. Doesn't have to be invention-based. Any kind of innovation will do. And last field trip we had, I think, Carmine, it was 15 countries last time. 81 presentations over that 24-hour period, 103 bodies altogether participating. So we're looking forward to doing that whole thing again, July 9th and 10th. So anyone who wants to sign up for that, go to innovationworld.org. And on the homepage, there's a link for that particular program. Another thing that's going on related to the Global Innovation Field Trip is we have a co-host competition or challenge looking for 2-3 young innovators who want to co-host with us. And they'll each have maybe about an hour where they'll come on and they'll interview guests with us. And I think it's a great step forward and step up for these young innovators to be able to talk to other young innovators and program managers across the world. And looking forward to announcing those folks. Deadline for that is June 15. So if you're interested, go on innovationworld.org, click on the co-host challenge on the homepage. It gives you a little bit of information about it. And we'll see who's with us next program.
Yeah, we need you guys. Believe me. I can't believe that this global network thing is coming back around. I mean, I lost a whole day of sleep. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think I counted it, and we were awake. Most of us were awake for 45 hours when you count getting ready for it. And afterwards, we weren't allowed just to go to bed. You know, we had to participate with families and stuff. So about a 45-hour day, and that's tough on us. So we do need some young blood to help us out a little bit there. And maybe our next guest will be one of those folks that co-hosts one of these events for us as well. So with that, I would like to introduce you to Alex Robb. Now, Alex was one of the competitors in our Ready, Set, Innovate program, and pretty sure, yes, in fact, he took second place in his grade level, which was grades 6 through 8. And he invented the goofy golf grabber. Right, Rob? Alex, I'm sorry, I'm going to call you Rob because it's right in front of me. So welcome, Alex. Why don't you tell us real quickly where you are from, how old you are, what grade you are getting ready to go in, and then I think we have a video we want to show that you presented to us.
Oh, yeah.
I am 13, going to be 14 in October. I am about to go into the 8th grade next year, and I am from Panama City, Florida.
Wonderful. How about a shout out to your school? Are you in junior high, middle school?
Yes, ma'am. I am currently going to Surfside Middle School.
Okay, and thank you to the educators at Surfside for helping promote this innovative program in your schools. I think it's great. Anyone who's out there who knows anything about these invention convention type programs knows the value of them to students everywhere. And you're going to be our problem solvers for the next, 75 years, Alex. So I'm glad that you're being taught at a young age how to take care of our problems for us. So, hey, Carmine, do you want to play his video? I think it's really cool, and I think people would be real interested in seeing it.
Yeah, let me see if I can get it to work. I'm not that great with this technology stuff. Let's give it a shot. See if you guys can see that.
I can't see it. It says you're sharing your screen, but I don't see anything on it.
Oh, see what I mean? It's always something. Let me check real quick.
Okay. So while he's doing that, Alex, why don't you tell us, I know that the video will share this too, but why don't you tell us how you came about this? Let's see if we can hear it.
I love to go putt-putt golfing with my family. One afternoon, while golfing, I saw my dad attempt to bend down and pick up the ball out of the hole. He had some back pain. From that point on, he asked me to pick up the ball out of the hole again, and again, and again. That got me thinking about my grandparents. Would they be able to do it? Would others be able to? This is the beginning of my project. My first prototype, as you can see, is made out of paper. It does not hold a golf ball well, but this prototype was just to get my bearings on the size and shape of my invention. My second prototype was made of a plastic called filament. This plastic gets fed through a 3D printer at a high temperature. I designed this prototype on a program called Tinkercad. But after printing it, I realized this had some measurement issues. So I went back to the design. So I redesigned to the third prototype. Prototype number 3 was much better. To use the Goofy Golf Grabber, you line up the scoop with the golf ball, then simply scoop it out into your hand. Other grabbers are just a whole other thing to carry around, or they are permanently attached. Every grabber would be about 10 cents to make. Now my dad has no back pain. Even senior citizens can use it, or people dressed like senior citizens. Now anyone can play a game of miniature golf using the Goofy Golf Grabber.
How cool is that? Hey, listen,
Awesome.
If you don't go on to be a famous inventor who solves all of our world problems, I do think you have a career laying ahead of you and maybe film industry somewhere.
Maybe.
I recognize that grandma in that picture too.
That was really good. So Alex, real quick on the technical side. So do you use CAD programs? Do you have a 3D printer?
We have a small 3D printer at home, yes, but for the invention in question, I use the school's 3D printer.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. So was this, do you guys play miniature golf a lot? Is this something that you witnessed having or?
We do have annual passes, and we go once or twice a week we go pretty often.
Oh, cool.
You should be pretty good at this now.
Not necessarily.
So the next invention needs to be something that will help qualify you as a better putt putter.
Yes.
How was it? A lot of people, innovation type people, people that love inventions, they don't really have access to a 3D printer or CAD program. It's so great that you have this ability to do that, where a lot of people have to go find somebody to help them. Do you find it's a little bit easier for you to innovate or make things because you have, the access to this equipment and obviously the knowledge? I can't hear. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Do you seem like you like to innovate or make things a little bit easier than most people because of that?
Yeah, it makes it a whole lot easier because it allows me to have access to many more ways to make stuff. It helps out a good deal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Alex, is this the first time, or was last school year, the first time this has been available to you through the schools?
Through the schools, no. We had a small 3D printer in the computer lab of my elementary school for a little while, and that's where I first learned how to use Tinkercad and other 3D printing websites.
Okay. And is this the first time you've invented something?
Um, kind of. For several school projects, I helped out. Well, first in the class, how to make the 3D printed items. First, we had to make a non-moving object, which I made a little Pokeball, and then we had to make a moving object, which I made an iron golem for Minecraft. It has a rod going through the center, which allows its arms to move. Then we had to do a teacher project, which I helped the computer lab to help have the headphones not fall off the edge of the computers every time. It was a little square thing that attached to the top of the monitors, and it allowed the headphones not to fall off or the hooks that were on them to break.
Oh, that's a great idea. So, and was this all this year, or over the course of a couple of years, you've done different projects with the 3D printer?
Over the course of a couple years, I learned how to do 3D printing in 5th grade. Then in 6th grade, we didn't do too much with 3D printer. Then now in 7th grade, we, of course, did the grabber.
Okay. And then did you have an invention convention type program this year in your school district?
Yes.
Okay.
We had a thing for the state and for we didn't have too many participants to have our school do its own competition. So we just sent the ones that participated to the state competition.
Okay. And this is the first time that the school district has done this. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully they'll keep going. I think my experience, and I've been in the K-12 invention space for about the last 18 years, is it starts small and then people will catch wind of Alex Robb's invention. They'll see he's on YouTube. They'll see he's on iTunes, or they'll hear he's on iTunes. You won't see it on iTunes. They will see that you've won a competition and they're going to start asking questions. They're going to ask you, they're going to ask the school, and they're going to want to get involved. So for all of those kids who haven't yet been introduced to maybe some of the tools you have, or even to an invention convention type program, who might be kind of on the edge of deciding what they want to do, what would you say to them about the invention experience?
It's more, most of the invention process is coming up with the idea and then the design process. Not testing is personally one of my favorite parts, but it's not it is a major part, but it is not the one that takes up the most amount of time.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I saw you had more than one iteration. I think you had at least 3 total that you've showed us. So did it get frustrating in parts of it where you were trying things and then having to try something different?
Yes, at multiple points down the line, there were sometimes with the second prototype, I had a measurement issue and it did not attach to the end of the golf club. So, so that was kind of frustrating. But then I had the third prototype in the end.
So this is probably a pretty naive question, but know that I am not a golfer. If I go to a golfing thing, I get to drive the beer cart because nobody will let me golf. It holds up everybody. So are all golf clubs the same at the top, at the handle?
No, I have to, if I'm planning to sell, well, I'm planning to sell to different golfing companies. With every golf club, it's a little bit different. So I would have to print a different version of the third one. with just slightly adjusting the end piece.
I see. So for a golf club manufacturer, do even one manufacturer of golf clubs, would they have a large variety of sizes, or pretty much theirs are all the same and then some other brands are all the same? I mean, you're going to have a bunch of different sizes you're going to have to create.
Most putt-putt places have different, they end up having all at the end the same size. But if it ends up each size, you know how there's the children's version, and then it gets to the teens and then the adults size of putter, I might have to do it individually to those different sizes. But most golf clubs end up being around the same size at the end.
How about golf balls? Are golf balls on a putt-putt course the same size as golf balls on a course?
They are all around an average size, I think, of 12 millimeters or something like that in diameter. And the average golf ball will fit in the grabber.
Do you have a golf ball handy? I'm just wondering how deep it goes into there, as to how hard is it to get back out then?
It is pretty simple. It more just falls out if you turn it vertical or.
So you're scooping it then?
Yes.
You're kind of okay. It doesn't like smash into it where you have to really pull it out.
That's the reason for the lip on the inside so it can hold it a whole lot better whenever you scoop it out of the hole. And so it improves it a good deal.
Can you hold that back up again for a second, Alex? And turn it. I want to see the end that goes into the golf club. Okay, so it doesn't go all the way through. I was just thinking, here's my world. That would make a great bug catcher too.
Yeah.
That spider that's in my house. Sorry, Carmine.
You see what I had to put up with, Alex? It's a bug catcher.
It's multifunctional.
A bug catcher. See,
I could put a stick on the end of it, catch it, slide some paper under, and release the bug into the safety of the world.
See that, Alex? You have developed multiple products now.
Yeah.
You see, you have a bug catcher like a fly swatter, but it's a bug catcher.
Well, it doesn't
because you don't want to hurt the bug, right, Julie?
Yeah.
That's
right. I just don't want it to live with me. Look, I lived in Florida long enough to know that there's some big bugs out there.
Oh, yeah.
Happy to be in Ohio now. They don't live up here.
So, Alex, so you're a perfect example of what you're doing. Is what I like about what you're doing, and you probably have aspirations to go to all types of golfing, obviously. But it's great that you're focusing on miniature type golf, because it allows you to narrow down your focus and go after a certain type of not only industry, but also type of club. Because even if your product only fit 90% or even 80% of the clubs, you're still way ahead of the game. And I think that, you doing that is very smart of you, if that is what you're doing, because you don't have to be all things to everyone. Even like, somebody like Apple iPhones, they only have 65% of the market. So I want people to know that that's great at what you're doing, that you've chosen a market, you're going after it, and you don't have to please everyone to sell a lot of what you've made.
Yes.
So see that, Julie, you just way ahead of the game here.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work out, the bug catcher, I'm telling you.
Well,
dual purpose.
Well, there's bugs at the miniature golf range. I mean,
don't be telling me that.
You're doing it all. So, Alex, what's now? Oh, go ahead, Julie.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, so what's next with your product? What's your next step?
I would say go to individually putt-putt places and figure out if they would be willing to buy this product, and then have them test it out to see if it fits their needs.
Yeah.
So I know you said I think in your video, it shows that some of your competition has to affix to the golf club.
Yes.
And this doesn't, which it makes it really handy. But I'm thinking ahead. If I were the putt owner, how do they keep them? Well, I guess it's the same thing as the clubs. If you don't return the little goofy golf grabber, then it'd be the same problem as if you don't return your clubs. I guess I'm just thinking they would be easy to walk away with.
They can sell them. The golf places can sell them themselves, or they could rent them out to people to put on the end of their golf club.
Yeah, you could have a little handicap parking for golf clubs, and only the handicap parking ones have that on it.
All right, the bug idea was better.
All right, come on.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
I think it's fun.
So
I love it.
Aside from being an innovator at your age, what are you thinking about for your future, Alex? What direction do you want to go?
I'm planning on being some sort of electrical engineer or some sort of engineer in general. That field interests me. I love science, and then there's also I enjoy physics and just engineering.
That's wonderful, wonderful. And a theater, I think, too. Theater. A little bit. You did a great job on your video. Did you come up with a script for it yourself?
Yes. It was within the lines of my presentation that I did at the district competition. It was just on how the transitions went between, like, first I told how I got the idea, then it went down the line to eventually how I got the prototype, then into marketing. Just on how it went down the line was from based off my presentation from earlier.
You did a fine job.
Yeah. Hey, Alex, I see you had some partners in the video. How were your parents and different people around you? How do they take you being an inventor? Do they support your ideas?
They do, very much so. I don't know what else to say, but they do support me on many fronts.
Yeah. We see that a lot, right, Julie? I mean, everyone needs that support with inventions.
Yeah, I think innovators are. I think young people that have a really good support system end up being really good innovators. And I think it's because they have people behind them driving them and helping support the things that they need to find. I mean, you don't have to pour a lot of money into something to make something great. I mean, Alex, how much money did you have to put into the creation of your invention?
Not much at all. We had to buy a golf club, which was like $10, $15. It's a relatively small golf club. And then I customized this one to that golf club. So it didn't take too much to actually print the thing. It cost about 10 cents to print just that new to pay off how much filament you use and stuff is exactly around 10 cents.
That's pretty good. So, if you created them on a more mass level, had a manufacturing somewhere, it's going to be a lot less than 10 cents probably to make them. But the point is, you don't have to have a lot of money to be an inventor. You have to have a problem. You have to have perseverance to keep trying to figure out what solutions are available, which solution is going to work better, make sure it's original idea, make sure there's really a market for it, because there's not a market for everything. I mean, it could be the best invention in the world and it's only going to help 5 people, then it's probably not going to go real far. But yours covers a really wide audience, given that it'll be something that could be used on a golf course as well as mini golf. And so having the parent support, having people to be able to drive you to places, to use 3D printers, things like that. I mean, having parents who are able to say, just to help with input and ideas and ask you questions to help stimulate more answers or maybe more research from you. I mean, that type of support that's incredible. And I think that you're right, Carmine. I think we see that in so many of these young innovators, that they have that support, whether it's a teacher or a parent, big sister or brother.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's kind of contagious, because a lot of people are scared to get into the innovation world because they're scared of failure, or they're scared of their idea not working. But when they see somebody else like Alex doing things, and maybe it didn't work the first time, the second time, or third, but he's working at it, other people say, well, it's not that bad if I have an idea and I fail. So, it's so great that Alex would say that. I want people to know that. I mean, it takes many iterations to come up with an idea. And it's actually, you have to have fun doing it. And then when you have the support system, it just makes it that much easier.
And that may not be your final iteration yet. I mean, you may find that there's somebody who wants to have them branded or have some other shape on the end of it that has their icon or their, what am I thinking of? Sports teams have their things in costume. What are those guys called?
The mascots.
Mascot might have a mascot on it or something. So there could be lots of iterations. I have one last question for you though, Alex. Do you see yourself manufacturing this product over time, or do you see trying to license this to somebody else who's going to do that?
I see myself doing it. And on the previous subject, my teachers also helped a great deal with me being able to do this.
Awesome.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's great because having that teacher, having the ability to have that support is really good. And I love the product. I mean, my back doesn't really hurt me, but I'm really lazy. So I would definitely buy that. Right, Julie?
I can't answer
perfect
for
gesture
you.
For me.
I know what you're thinking now, because you're stealing my bug catcher idea is what you're doing, Carmine. See, as you're right, you and your wife are out doing your weekend bike rides, you can scoop something up with that, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea too. It's a lot of uses.
It.
I could just whack people with it too, I guess.
As
they're going by real close to me on my bike, I could just smack them. Yeah, it's multi-use. I mean, Alex, you don't even realize. I mean, there's so many uses for this product. I mean, we could sit here all day. But awesome. No, it is pretty cool, Alex. And the great part about it is that you can manufacture that at low cost for testing, to bring to a miniature golf course if they want to test on 20 or 10. We'll be talking, Alex. I would love to help you with that product, but there are ways to mass manufacture a 3D product, so you can do some real high-end testing at a real low cost. I think you're right on the right track. So it's great that you, at your age, seems like you have a great business out on your shoulders, right, Julie?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's fabulous opportunities out there for you too. Does this qualify as a toy, Carmine?
Oh, no.
I mean, in addition to other things it qualifies for, do you think I was thinking about the Chicago Toy and Game in Spring Inventor Challenge, and I don't really know their definition of a toy. I know it's more of a appliance to go on a toy.
Well, there is an actual show for miniature golf in Las Vegas. As a matter of fact, there's a show for almost everything. I mean, there's a pizza show in Las Vegas, so they show the newest innovations in pizza.
I knew we'd get around to pizza at some point.
So there is a show for miniature golf that he could present that product, have a small little booth and present their product. But there's other ways, other ways to show a product before that. So there's a lot of cool stuff we could do.
Okay.
We can introduce it to a lot of people, but having a product that has a usability, you see the problem and you have the fix. It's very explanatory. So, I mean, it's a great product to show somebody. They get it right away, right, Alex? So when you tell somebody about it and show them, right, Alex, they get it right away.
They usually get it right off the bat, but then there are a couple people who are like, eh.
Yeah, well, because they're like Julie, they're trying to catch bugs with it. No, but here's a great part. If it's a miniature golfer, they know you show them, boom, and that's your target person. You're not going to show it to somebody who doesn't play miniature golf. That's the great part about this. Now, slowly you can introduce it into golf. Now, golf is a little bit harder to break into. I was over at the PGA show this year judging a few new inventions, and it's a little bit harder to break into that industry. So you want to get a foothold and a usage, and that's why miniature golf is a great, step to go after, and then break into the actual golf scene, which is really cool. But golf and pets, great industries, but very hard to get a product in. Just a little bit of info. So, all right, Julie, what else we got? We got any other announcements? Are we looking for people to do anything?
First of all, thank you, Alex, for spending the half hour with us. We really appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll see you at the Global Innovation Field Trip in July. I did want to make a couple other announcements. One, I started talking about a little bit the Chicago Toy and Game Young Inventor Challenge. They have a spring challenge going on right now. You can find information about that at innovationworld.org. Go to our events page. There's also another thing you can click on that page. It's the Institute of Competition Sciences. They have hundreds. I don't even know how many hundreds. I could not count them all, but they have hundreds of different competitions from around the world. You can go in and you can sort it by your age. You could sort it by, I think, the type of invention you've created or the type of competition you want to be in, and you can look for other competitions there. Again, that's at the innovationworld.org website. Look under our events page for that and for other competitions. We try to keep up to date on those as best we can. There's all sorts of cool things out there for innovators, so I encourage you all to go take a look. Otherwise, people wanting to be a part of the second Global Innovation Field Trip, you can also go to innovationworld.org, click on the Global Innovation Field Trip on the homepage, sign up to watch it, sign up to be a part of it, to be a presenter. We had 81 presenters. We'll have about that many this time as well. It's how the hours break down. And we'd love to see you there. Yeah,
it was awesome. And I don't think we could squeeze any more people in. That thing was going. We had somebody talking every minute, right? I mean, except for Dacia had some awesome stuff, but most of the time we had presenters.
There were probably 5 or 6 half-hour segments, so those could be 15-minute segments like the rest of it was. So we could actually do more than 81, but 81 is about what we'll see probably. And so it's 24 full hours. Can't say that you don't have time to be there. You got some time to be there.
But it's so cool hearing people, and Alex, you got to listen to hearing people from all around the world. I mean, these little countries, all of a sudden this person pops in and they're telling us about their idea, and they're in a country that either you never heard of or you just never got any information out of, but they're all thinking about helping the world, environment, economy, helping their parents in the kitchen, just like we would here, but from different countries. It was so much fun hearing all these inventions and all the things that are happening in these countries. And
I did not see anybody with a golf product on there.
No.
So there you go. Way to get it across the world really quick.
Oh yeah, that's one way to do it. Very true. I don't even know, Alex. Do they play miniature golf in, Zimbabwe? We don't even know.
I don't know.
Well, we can find out, right?
We'll have to do our research.
All right. Well, good. Alex and Julie, thank you so much. This has been really cool. I love bringing, we don't usually show too many videos, but Alex had a great presentation. So it was fun to show that video. And again, we'll be talking soon about your product. I'd love to help in any way possible. But for Julie Shively, for myself, Carmen Danisco, and for Alex Robb, we thank you for listening in at today's segment show of Innovation World. We will be catching you next time. You all take care.
Thank you for joining us today for the Innovation World podcast and your co-host, Julie Shively and Carmen Danisco on the Launch Network. Innovation World is your go-to source for all things innovation, invention, and entrepreneurship. Our website is www.innovationworld.org.